Hey guys, this is the Scientific Knight here and welcome to the first video of construction for noobs. If you want to see more, like, favourite, subscribe, bye! Okay, so first of all, this is your traditional noob house. As you can see, it's built out of dirt, it's got a wooden door and a really bad shape. Look at that, what is that? Now, as you can go inside, oh, lovely, dark, it's boring and horrible. But, you know, this is for low-level noobs. You might expect this. But, as you see, the high-level noob, they haven't changed. Look at this. It's a house made of diamond. Well, actually, I'll say a house. It's a facade of a house. But the point I'm trying to make here is you do not build a house out of one single material. Whether it looks cool, whether the design is cool, I don't care. You don't build it out of your one simple material. It just looks boring. So yeah, that's one thing you have to watch out. You know, make sure you vary what you're building. So I'll head over and take a look at something that doesn't use a single material. We can see a building that isn't made of one simple material. Instead, it's made of two, but they're not like, you know, oh, you got one wall made of this and one wall made of that. You combine them. So for example, I've built it so that you've got an archway made out of stone brick, and then the stone brick as the supporting part of this cobble wall. So, and then you've got stairs made out of cobblestone, but with stone steps and not cobblestone stairs. And inside you've got ladders, you've got doors, you've got, you know, you're using different materials like bookshelves and beds. This is unfinished, but also you want to add windows to your buildings as well as definition to those windows. For example, when you're building a castle, one would have, you know, the windows would be just, you could have like a bland window that's just painted into the wall, or you could have the top and bottom of the window made of an upside down and normal stair to give it more depth and definition. Yeah, that's one thing you could do with here. We see a building that uses a wide range of different layers and materials in order to create a much better look and make the building stand out more than it would if it was just made of one or two materials. For example, you've got the stone brick as an outlining, and then you've got the cobblestone to fill in, and then cobblestone wall as part of the window or defensive window. And for a roof here, instead of just having stone brick like here, you have stairs, wooden stairs. It adds variety and it makes the building stand out more. And you can, like for example over there, you can add iron bars or have buttresses coming off the walls just to make it look unique and different and not the same old boring rubbish that you see noobs building. Okay, so yeah, that's the first part of this video done. Okay, this is the second chapter of the video, in which I'll be explaining to you why it's important to have an organised inventory. So, for example, if you've got a cluttered inventory, you've got like a stone brick, and next to it for some reason you've got a bit of dirt or tats, you know, it's going to be difficult to, it's going to be annoying to have to switch from one end to the other just to build something that shouldn't take that long. So what I do is, like, if you take a look in the inventory, I've got my potions at the front, so then they're quick and easy to access when I need them. And then to the right you've got the same sort of category of blocks. So you've got full blocks, and then you've got slabs, ignore that one, and then so you've got stone brick stairs, and then you've got more brick, and then more brick. And then when you go to cobblestones, you have cobblestone and half cobblestone. So make sure you've got the same type of block in the same format. So you have, like, for example, so here you see stone brick stairs, stone bricks, and cracked stone bricks. You don't want to have stone brick stairs, cobblestone, then half slab quartz randomly out of nowhere, because it's not going to make it easy. For example, you know, like I'm here in Yarnham, and it's much easier to have an organized inventory so that you know what you're building. So here, example, you got stone bricks, stairs. So if you know, for here I'm building this thing that incorporates stairs, stone brick, and the stone there. Now my stone is all the way over there, but I can simply just do that and then place it. And so when you're building these columns, it's so much easier to just do this, and you don't even have to switch much. You can just place, and yeah, easy. So that's one thing. You need to have an organized inventory, otherwise you're going to get confused and your builds are going to take longer to build. I mean, I know it's only a couple of seconds, but they add up. So, okay, this is the final chapter. In this chapter I'll be talking about what kind of builds you actually want to do and how to go about it. So the types of builds that are available to you are pretty much anything in Minecraft, and the best way to do that. So I don't know, for example, if you're building a village like I have here, make sure it's close to water, because especially if it's a medieval town, because you know that's the ocean and the river, well, more so the river, is going to be the main source of drinking water. Well, or I'd say drinking water, more of like washing your clothes, fishing. It's a lifeline, essentially. It's quick access to food, and you know, but you need to know what else you're building in these villages as well. So if it's a small village, it's going to have a tavern, and it's going to have a blacksmith. So over here I've built a blacksmith, and as you can see I've incorporated different designs with the types of blocks and things I'm using. Yeah, with blacksmith you want to have a smelter, you want to have that thing, which is a thing, anvils, cauldrons to make it look like what you're doing with tempering stuff, like just heating metal then cooling it. You know, you gotta have farms for them to eat, so like agriculture. What else? Shops, a currency system if you're building an RPG. It's, you know, all those different things that you need. So we're going to fly over to here, which is like a fishing hut. So you want fishing huts, you want boats, you want bridges, and make sure you change the designs of the bridges, otherwise it's going to get boring. And build them to suit the landscape. Also over here we've got you know, a logging thing, so that cuts logs, and you can you need to have something that shows that the village looks like it has been crafted from local materials. So you know, essentially you could imagine that this thing has supplied the wood in order to build these houses. I know it hasn't, but it's nice to make it look more realistic and more rustic in terms of like the things that I don't know what I'm saying. So somehow these cows have escaped. Like with over here is my medieval city, and here you can see a castle. Very, very, very bad one since it was early stages of Minecraft. Looking at it now, it sucks. You don't want to build a castle like that because it's absolute tat. It's okay for survival because it's easy and simple to build, but this isn't a survival guide, is it? It's creative, and this is not creative. As you can see, everything's built out the same material. But you've got to think of land use. So think of geography. You've got different land uses and different purposes of land. So you have brownfield sites and greenfield sites. If you want to build a new building in an area that's already taken up, destroy that building and build your new building if it's going to be better. And I would advise like planning structures on paper, or if you have some sort of architecture program on computer, you use that. But yeah, I've got a city. A lot of these buildings are my own designs. Some aren't, because it was early stages of Minecraft, and like you guys, if you're watching this, I was looking up on how to make better things. So this is one of my designs. So you can see I've used different materials during the creation of it, and it's so much better to use different things and think of how you're, like for example, if you're building a city, you're going to have butchers, you're going to need some way of getting food into the city, and you're going to need more than one exit, because think of congestion. I know it doesn't happen in Minecraft, but you know, you've got to think, you've got to. So for example, I've got two ways into the city. I've got the main entrance there, or the one by ocean where the dockland is here, and you can come in through the boat and simply just ride in ride in, sail in, and park up. And then over here I've got barracks that charges you money for entering the city, and traders have a bit where they drop off their goods and other things. And here, pathway, you've got cobblestone and it's surrounded by mossy stone because it's used often. Now I haven't done it here, but I would advise using, I've done it here. So for example, you want some blocks that are cracked and some that are mossy to show that they've been worn and used. And you want to have bakeries and other things, so you know, it's that sort of thing that you want in your builds. And like over there I've got a giant castle, you know, and the location is perfect because it's this flat land, and forest, surprisingly, is actually really good for flat land. It may not look flat, but if you burn down the trees, you'll find you've got really flat land. I mean, you can destroy a couple of small hills and that usually helps, but see, it's always think of how you're going to use your land. Like here, perfect for a castle, so I built one in the theme of Lord of the Rings. And that's, you know, you can get inspiration from many places, just going outside, walking in town, going to the city. Like for my futuristic city, I usually go up London and look for things that can help with building stuff. And like this, I watched the Lord of the Rings and I was like, I know what I'm going to build, something a bit Minas Morgul and a bit Minas Tirith with this thing on the end. So yeah, always think of how you're going to build something, what you're going to build, and how you're going to use the land, and what purposes that land serves. Like in Woolwich, you've got high streets. In London, you've got parks. You have to have different areas to change what this area looks like. Otherwise, everything's going to be boring and simple, and you don't want that. And yeah, like here, you got depth. Different change in blocks that I've used, like some mossy, some cracked, and a lava moat going around, which just makes it stand out more, makes it look different. So yeah, so that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, subscribe, and if you want to see more of these, make sure you like or even comment and tell me what you find easier when you're building, or how you come up with ideas for creation, inspiration, and all that business. So thanks for watching, guys, and see you in the next video.